Jeanne, talk about when the dams came and, you know, the waters rose up and a lot of these places that you went are now underwater.
That's right. They're preserved.
They're preserved underwater.
Yes.
Yeah, so I guess if we drained it all down, they may still be there.
Well, where else would they go?
Well, would water wear them off?
No.
No.
No. As a fact, they would get silted in. So they should be okay.
So they should be okay.
As far as I'm concerned,
yeah,
they're preserved for some future generation that wants to see them.
Well, that's a good way to think about it. Not that we lost them, but that they're preserved.
There are lots of others besides those that were along the river. The heaviest concentrations were around the rivers because that's where the people lived, and that's where they came back to, and that's where they worked. And I'd like to talk just a little bit about how they were made.
Yeah.
They used another rock, but they also used sand for braiding as a sort of a, it wouldn't be an oil, but sort of to get their
almost like a lubricant?
Yeah, to get their strokes narrower and longer and deeper. Ah. And we had some of the most magnificent examples at the confluence of the Columbia River, and they're all up and down the river. And at certain places where people gathered, that's where there were, and there were a lot of wonderful pictographs, which are paintings, and they were done with fine red earth and some sort of a fat, probably deer fat, so that they really were absorbed into the basalt, which is vesicular, very, very small holes. So it was a great canvas for their work, which made it all the more lasting. You made them there for future generations to see.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, how about when the dams, like I was saying, you know, when those came in and filled up all of this, did you sort of have a sinking feeling inside, or did you sort of, like you said earlier about, well, they're actually preserved? Did you kind of see it as, you know, it's progress and it's okay?
Well, I never thought about progress. I just thought about that's going to keep people from desecrating them. And I think it has worked that way. They're fine. The Indians for a while were worried that the falls had been blown up or something had happened to them. But we know that now that didn't happen. So the petroglyphs are the same. And there were a lot of people who made them, and some people who made very, very fine ones. But the reason that mine were special is because I used art principles, made them more interesting visually for people to really appreciate them.
Yeah, part of that being very resourceful and thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about today, the Dalles today, and all the changes that you've seen, and just changes in general? I mean, where do we start, right?
Yeah,
but
where do we start?
Yeah, tell me about some of the major transitions that you've seen.
Well, one of the first one was that instead of ferries across the river, we have bridges. So we have the Dalles Bridge, and so I don't have to wait for him to come home until the ferry gets across the river and comes back again. Yeah. Which is one of the big ones. And I think we're very fortunate to have a good airport here, because that was residual from the Army engineers who thought this would be a good place for a military airport, which we don't use it for that, but it's proving to be good for places that need big shipments and important people who come in. So that's been important. And the port development has really, really burgeoned. It is so large now. It's almost like a second city out there if people don't know about it, because it's sort of off the way. but there are a lot of very good industries and things that are going on out there.
Yeah, yeah. So do you feel as proud of the Dalles today as you ever have?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I think we're in a great position. We're a little bit out of the smog area. We still get some. And we're also away from the congestion of a big city. It's kind of getting there, but not there.
Yeah.
And I think we probably have some work to do on our schools, because that's one of the big things that draws people. But we are also restricted by the urban growth boundaries, which I think is fine.
Yeah.
Because the town can only expand in a couple of directions. It can't go into the scenic area, it can't go out in the river.
Right.
So what have we left?
Yeah, yeah. So in a sense, that's kind of nice to know that.
We have sort of boundaries without anybody having to say you have to do this.
Right.
Where they're natural boundaries.
Natural boundaries, exactly. Well, Jeanne, thank you so much for coming on and sharing just a little bit about your past and some of the things that you've done and your accomplishments. And I understand you have 8 rentals, so I guess I don't need to ask what you do in your free time between your art and all of that, which you still do some art?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yes, like you said, it doesn't happen. It's something that it's part of you. Yeah. Jeanne, thank you so much.
Well,
really a pleasure.
I've enjoyed talking to you.
Well, I've enjoyed listening. And you guys, hopefully you've enjoyed the show. Thank you again for watching, and look forward to seeing you next time. And remember, take care of each other.
Do you have a guest idea? Let us know. Go to localite.com.